Good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum here with some words of wisdom to start your day. And we are back to the Sacred Forest deck. Another card. So, I have some thoughts about that. We'll see if they manifest enough to come out my mouth. We'll see. Anywho, hope you had an awesome Friday. We had day one of Rummage-O-Rama, and my dad and my sister did the morning stint of 3 hours, and then I did the afternoon stint of 3 hours. Thank you to my friend Diane for coming and hanging out with me when things were slow, but interesting things. A 7-foot ficus tree went. Good morning, Jonelle. Glad you're here. That was the first big thing that went, was a 7-foot artificial ficus. And the last person of the day, who came 40 minutes after the end of the rummage sale proper, but they were coming from a distance, and the wife had said she was sending her husband, and that when he got there, he would FaceTime the rummage sale for her. And I'm like, how is this going to work? They were coming for some dishes anyway. So I knew that $220 worth of dishes were going to walk out of there anyway. So I thought, oh, what the heck? I'll sit here for an extra 40, 50, 60 minutes, whatever. And he shows up with this great big pickup truck with the dualies on the back, and I forget what he did for a living, but he was coming from work, so he had paint on his face. And but I started piling up stuff as he's walking around, and she's going, yep, I want that, I want that, I want that. Good morning, Gwen. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you're here. I'm regaling Jonelle, who was the only one on at the time, with the story about the rummage sale yesterday. So he's walking around, showing her on FaceTime the stuff we have, and she's picking out the things she wants. Tons of cut crystal, a cut crystal punch bowl about this big. She wanted that. A platter that was just massive. So now I have some holes to fill in, which will be fun. But so he's walking around and he's going, there's nothing else here. There's nothing else here. And he's kidding with her. And so I'd pick something up and hold it in front of his phone, and he goes, you're not helping me. Because then she'd say, yeah, I want that too, and I want that too. And he'd hold stuff up, and she's like, no, that's not my style. I'd hold stuff up, and she'd say, oh yeah, that's perfect. Good morning, Nancy. I could tell what her style was right off the bat. So by the time he left, he had 5 boxes, and the platter was loose because it was too massive to put in something. A tea set, a silver, silver plate tea set, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and 3 full-size dolls, you know, those collector dolls that nobody wants anymore. 3 of those. Yeah. So all told, I think it was $439 or something. I'm like, well, this was worth hanging around for. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Glad you're here. So today is day 2 of the rummage sale, and there should be, I know there's at least a couple of people who've said they couldn't come Friday because of work, but they could come Saturday. So we'll see how things go. But I'm looking forward to going and filling in the holes that this man created, because there was a lot of stuff. Yeah, a whole lot of stuff. So that was fun. So today we have an interesting card, and for me it resonated, and one of you commented yesterday after I posted the YEMIG how much it connected for you, and thanking me for putting that card out there. And I'm like, hey, this stuff is speaking to most of us, and I think today's message will also be a practical rebel message. It will connect. So again, Denise Lynn, the Sacred Forest, that awesome tree with the little fairies in the door. How cool is that? So let's just do some breathing and tapping first. Settling into right here, right now. Filling up those lungs. Good morning, Carolyn. Glad you are here. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. So there's 7 of you here with me this morning. Hello, Beth. Welcome, welcome. So tomorrow, remember, tomorrow, if you can be here, we're going to be doing the shadow reading for the Practical Rebels from the Wild Harmonic deck. I got my little sticky note on there, so I remember. That's what we're doing tomorrow. But today we have toadstools. Growth. So if you have this card deck, it's card number 44 on page 122 if you want to look at it for yourself. Good morning, Barb. Welcome, welcome. But we have toadstools today. Growth. I love these words. It fits so perfectly with what we've been working our way through. So you can see she's surrounded by toadstools. I used to love that. Walking through the woods in Rapid River, the motel was right in front of the high school, but there was woods all the way around, and a couple times a year the toadstools would just pop and be everywhere in these amazing colors and these amazing shapes. Just cool. And then some of them you'd see would have a little nibble out of them. Some creature had to have a snack. So, toadstools, growth. Though the forest floor looks sedate, beneath the surface a kind of enchantment is occurring as the mushrooms grow and wait. Then, when conditions are right, there is an explosion of toadstools throughout the woods. It happens so fast it seems magical, yet preparations have long been occurring out of sight. That's what's happening for us right now. It may feel like, why is nothing unfolding the way I think it's supposed to, blah, blah, blah. There's all manner of stuff going on below the surface, and some of this stuff is going to come into light with kind of an explosion. So, we'll see when that happens. The fairies and elves rejoice and even dance in the fairy rings. So here's the narrative part. Things that have been incubating beneath the surface are going to be coming to fruition. Get clear on your goals and dreams, because rapid growth is ahead. And I can see that, and I've seen that historically. Seems like nothing's happening. Good morning, Mel. Welcome. And then all of a sudden, wham, and things take off, and it's hold on to your butts, because here we go. So I think we're there. Get clear on your goals and dreams, because rapid growth is ahead. Be ready. For these projects to come to fruition, you must first be starkly honest about what you want. Ask yourself, is this what I really want? Could someone post that in the feed? Ask yourself, is this what I really want? This is a period right now for, I'm going to call it even brutal honesty with ourselves about what we want and don't want. And not in that settling for this is good enough fashion, but in the dream big, this is a stretch for me fashion, right? Ask yourself, is this what I really want? Believe in miracles. Also, in the time ahead, you might discover a spiritual guru or step into a new spiritual path. Again, my thing with the gurus is, gee, you are you. You're your own guru. You know your stuff. That doesn't mean you can't learn from others, but don't assume that someone else is going to be your savior. It's all within. It's all within. The divine is all around us. The divine envelops us, right? See the divine in everything. You might find that you are providing expansive spiritual growth for others simply by being who you are. Make sure that your foundations are in place, because once this growth begins, you will be on the journey of a lifetime. So grounding, keeping ourselves solid in our foundation, so that however high the stories go, it's strong. It's strong. Thank you, Abigail. I appreciate that. Is this what I really want? Fungi are ancient. Oh, thank you, Gwen. I love that. The two of you tend to do that. Post it at the same time. I think that's hilarious. Fungi are ancient and were the first organisms to leave the water and initiate life on Earth 1.3 billion years ago. It's hard to even wrap our brains around that kind of a number, right? We're around for 80, 90, 100 years, 1.3 billion years, which is why we can take a breath a little bit with the upheaval that's going on right now. This is a flash in the pan. This is a drop in the bucket. I know it doesn't seem like it, certainly doesn't feel like it, but it is. In the forest, the fungi have interconnected filament-like roots that provide protein-rich food and life for the entire forest. This seemingly humble ancestor to the toadstool is so essential that none of our native conifers could survive without the life-giving qualities of their roots. Their ability to grow and survive throughout all time speaks of your ability to grow and thrive, no matter what life brings. We can be productive. Someone mentioned to me yesterday again the title of that one chapter out of Rebecca Campbell. Be productive. Do nothing. Because even when we're doing nothing, doesn't mean nothing's happening. May mean we're holding the sacred space for all of this under earth stuff that's going on, all of the seeds that have already been planted that are just about to germinate. The spirit of the toadstool, so I'll let you look at him again, says, beneath the surface of your life, miraculous changes are occurring. Something that you thought was ordinary is in fact remarkable. And I'm going to add in a line here. Something you thought was impossible is in fact possible. You are in a time of rapid spiritual and material growth. Get ready and hang on for the ride. Doesn't that sound lovely? Some of you are probably feeling some trepidation, like, okay, where's this ride going to take me? Imagine that it's kind of like a roller coaster. Remember when we were kids and we'd get on the roller coaster and we kind of knew where it was going because we could see some of the tracks, but we didn't have control over the ride, and we might as well scream and enjoy it because we're going on the ride, right? So, what about for you? What are the seeds that you've planted that maybe already you feel the sense that they're just about to germinate, or that you're staring at that fertile soil going, I don't see anything green popping up here. Rub your hands together. Send some energy to all the fertile soil there is in which those seeds have been planted by us and by others, sending good energy, viewing it as the germination time. We're on the cusp. We're on the cusp. Okay, so have an awesome Saturday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are, including rapid growth that you can't even wrap your brain around. So just have fun playing with it. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.